How to survive client feedback. So I'm going to try a little something different this time. Instead of looking at my face through my list of things that I do to survive client feedback, I will be showing you a time lapse of some character designs that I've been working on for a project that hopefully will happen. Cross your fingers, so many bitches. But the channel is called Draw Jam, not Jam Jam. So instead of seeing my face, there should be more artwork on this channel. So that is my tentative New Year's resolution. I want to try to record more stuff. A lot of the things that I've been working on are things that I can't really show other people, but I do need to take more time to just draw things that I can actually develop and show other people. So that's my plan. So let's get started with the list. There are 3 things that I like to do whenever I get client feedback to sort of help me navigate the dangerous waters that is working for other people. Step 1, take a breath. Step 2, ask a lot of questions. And step 3, if the corrections are within the scope of the project, execute on those corrections. Step 1, take a breath. Oftentimes you are going to be dealing with clients who are not artists themselves and who might not have any concept or notion or idea of how long it takes to create a thing or what your creative process is like or anything like that. So the initial feedback you get might be full of emotional words like, oh, this is terrible, or I don't like the feel of this, or how dare you do the thing. And it can be very difficult not to respond in an emotional way. Take a step back, take a breath, and look at the situation from their perspective. You're solving a problem that they have with an expertise that they know nothing about. It's like alchemy or magic to them. So, all they usually see is the end result of your hours and hours and hours and hours of work, and it's magic. So they won't necessarily understand that the words that they are using are emotionally charged and can, kind of hurt your feelings and stuff like that. Also, they're probably reacting in a knee-jerk manner. And so, the worst thing you can do is to respond in kind. Like, if you get a message filled with a lot of emotional words, responding back with like, I feel like this and I feel like that and blah, 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 blah. That's not really helpful. That could damage your relationship with the client. So my number 1 suggestion is for you to step back, take a deep breath, and try to parse through all the emotional language and find the actual thing that they are trying to get you to do. Try to find the actionable thing in their emotional response that you can actually respond to. Emotion and feel are kind of hard to interpret when it comes to something like artwork. So this leads into my next tip: ask a lot of questions. Sometimes the only way you can parse through this emotional language is if you ask very specific questions to your client. Like, is the sizing wrong? Are the colors not right? Do you want to change the composition? Do you want to change the way something looks and feels? The more specific questions you ask, the better it is for the client, because they can respond to very specific things instead of, throwing out their first emotional response to the first thing you turned in. Once you get a list of things that the client wants you to change, write that list down and send it back to them in your own words. Don't use their terminology because they know what they said. You have to demonstrate that you know what they said. And this is really helpful. It lets the client know that you're paying attention and that you're trying to work this out to the best of your ability. But it also shows the client ways that they can sort of provide feedback that's most helpful to you. So if they see the way that you word things or the way that you respond to things, it can help build a working relationship between you and that client. So once you and the client have agreed on the corrections that need to be made to this thing that you've done for them, you can move on to step 3. Hopefully the corrections will be within the scope of the initial project. Sometimes there are like little fiddly bits that they want added, and if it doesn't take you too much time to do stuff like that, go ahead and do it because it helps you build a good client relationship. However, you might get someone to come back and say, oh, could you just do this one more thing? Oh, could you just do this one more thing? And just this one more thing starts to build up and build up and build up and blow the scope of the project way out the water. And in those types of situations, it's not unreasonable to ask for an additional fee because you don't want to get in the habit of working for free. Your time is money, and the more things that the client is asking for you that aren't in the initial job, it can kind of add up, and it takes you away from working on other things, and it's a bad habit to get into. So little things like maybe like a font change or like, an additional word here or there, that's fine. Or like maybe like a small color thing. But if it's going to take you like 2 or 3 hours to add in all this additional stuff on top of the corrections that you're already working on, in that type of situation, please, 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 please ask for an additional fee. I don't feel like that's unreasonable. And hopefully the person that you're working with won't feel that that is unreasonable either, because you will have already worked this out and you'll have a good relationship with them, because they will understand that you've been trying to understand and solve this problem for them with your artwork. That is absolutely amazing and wonderful, which is the entire reason why they hired you in the first place. So there you go. Those are my 3 steps for surviving client feedback. Take a breath, ask a lot of questions, and execute if it's within the scope. Those are the things I like to do. If you have some foolproof techniques that have helped you survive and navigate this world of working for other people, please drop them in the comments wherever you see this. I'm always on the look for better ways to do things, because I'm just kind of making all of this up as I go along. So thanks for checking out this video. Hopefully the time-lapse thing was enjoyable. If you liked it, hopefully I'll figure out a way to do more of these things. I really need to do more work that I can show other people, so hopefully this will kind of motivate me to do more of this kind of thing in the new year. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll check you next time.